Like we really, we know what the issue are. Hudak come out with the pistols flying. I want a right to work state. Oops, did I say that? I mean right to work province. As he just tries to follow, I think Tim Hudak, just like Stephen Harper, still think George W. Bush is still president of the United States. Okay, as far as trying to implement these policies in Ontario. So where are we doing to create jobs? Good jobs, not contract jobs, not just a job from here to there, something that's sustainable. And we talked about 7,000 young people, youth job strategy. Okay, and what is it creating? We are building our knowledgeable community. We already had a knowledgeable community, very, very knowledgeable in manufacturing across the board. Okay, aerospace, agriculture, high tech, and partnering with business. Again, sorry to say, Kathleen, very, very canned responses. We're going to do all these partnerships. No, I want a plan. I don't want partnerships anymore. I want to know where the jobs are. Okay, I don't want to be a blip on the screen. I still haven't truly got down to crunch the numbers on what happened to Windsor. I still think it's just everybody left, okay, or everybody fell off unemployment. For us to drop from like 9, after being at 9 for so long, and dropping down to 6.9, I still looking around Windsor. I'm still looking out the window, going, where did all these jobs come from? Where are they working? What kind of work is it? Okay, I didn't hear, like Walmart hasn't hired yet, so how did we drop about 2.5%? So I need more than that. Latest, greatest, same thing. Privatized it a little bit, but left kind of what's left to be Ontario Hydro, and then that's the one that's having all the problems, because the private companies don't have any problems whatsoever, and it's just like we're trying to mismanage Ontario Hydro to kind of finish it off, to get rid of it at the end, and it's a sad state of affairs. And please don't think that your Ontario consumers and your Ontario constituents across Ontario, okay, aren't really in tune. We're getting wiser, we're getting smarter, we're understanding what has happened. You know what? Get back in there. Fix Ontario Hydro. I need to get a bill. I need to have a bill. I need to have my meter checked. I need to know what I'm going to pay. Okay, just like any other bill, I can't wait 6 months and be surprised. Okay, and then surprised with it skyrocketing through the roof. Okay, why is Canada, I'm going to say Canada and Ontario, so far behind? We have so many raw resources in regards to electricity, in regards to oil and wood, that our costs in Canada are so much higher than who we end up sending it to, or excuse me, I shouldn't even say that. Okay, whoever's the highest bidder. Okay, whoever's the highest bidder for it gets it, and if we can't find the highest bidder, then we make us pay. Oh, we have to pay market rates? No, I want to pay Canadian rates. Canadian rates for the surpluses that are out there, and that's what I want to see in regards to that. Yeah, minimum wage. Okay, we'll talk about minimum wage in a minute. And, my favorite book. Okay, that seemed to be a very, very important and very, very important answer to all the Ontarios, that my favorite book for years was Margaret Lawrence's The Stone Angel. And, with only 1 hour, okay, we're running and we're talking about books. No. We needed, she answered pretty quick on that one. I guess we didn't really need to layer that or have the Liberal staff kind of go through it, edit it, fix it, okay, pump it up at the end of the day. So again, that's something that should have been looked at. And then we got, she knew it, she kind of knew it, because, she got with one of those plugged in type of questions, talking about the Greater Toronto, Hamilton area in regards to transit and what are we going to do, Kitchener, Waterloo, and beyond. Okay, and again, I can see the commitment, the $35 billion and the $35 billion to the infrastructure spending over the next 3 years. That's finally an answer that I've seen it, although, Toronto kind of keeps putting their hand out there, and we try to do something always in coordination of what Toronto does, and we need to look at the other communities. I'll give you a community just for an example. We need a better transit system, a better transit plan. We need some assistance here in Windsor. Okay, we have students that, we want to put all these schools on the outskirts and in downtown. We got to be able to get them there. We got to be able to have a good affordable system for the students, or a transit system also for the communities. Okay, maybe not be as large and expansive, okay, as the Greater Toronto, Hamilton, Mississauga, Kitchener, Waterloo, Ottawa pipeline. Okay, there are other communities that need assistance. We don't need to have less and less, okay, and not to be able to cost more for us to have any type of transit, whether or not it's within Windsor or without Windsor-Essex or outside of Windsor-Essex. We need affordable solutions for everybody down here also. That's why we are the best local community program, because we talk about the issues that face Windsor-Essex. And of course, we talked about minimum wage, and she answered minimum wage. There were so many issues on how to balance it. No, it's not about balancing anything. Okay, what is an affordable wage for people? Okay, I'm looking at, as Minister of Agriculture and Food, I heard directly from farmers and fruit producers. Okay, that's interesting, because that's usually you really take it to, and I think with the farm producers, for the food producers and the farmers, you normally have plans, okay, from other countries to bring in low-wage labor, okay, and if they try to get organized, then all heck breaks loose. I'm talking about we need minimum wage, fair and reasonable, predicted for the businesses, and right off the bat, there's people I can't afford to pay, and if you really look at it, I can't afford to pay an extra $2,000 a year to one, and I'm never say it's 2,000. I base it upon hours. 2,000 hours is basically what is the amount of hours worked in a year, okay? So we can't afford to give somebody $2,000 more, which gets taxed anyways, okay, because, and really and truly, most of those people are part-time, so it's not just one employer, it's other employers that have to share up the cost, because you need 5 part-time jobs to make one as it is anyways currently in Ontario, okay, and that's how I kind of see it. But it should be higher. And you know what? I just got the cue as we're kind of practicing our production cues. We are going to take a break. And if you know what, he might. You know what? I think my producer said, I think Mike needs to take a break, cool down a little bit. And this is the Convergence Report. I am Mike Thomas, and I will be back as soon as Alex points his finger at me. Be back soon.
You're watching the TV, streaming live from downtown Windsor for the Windsor Downtown Business Accelerator, and this is the Convergence Report with Mike Thomas. We'll be right back.
Okay, and we're back, and you're watching the Convergence Report. I am Mike Thomas, right here through live stream. This is live stream by Knoxstrom Digital Media through XE's TV, okay, at the downtown Windsor Business Accelerator at 720 Olette, right out there, Olette Avenue, right behind me. And as I continue on, and I guess it's going to be like basically my half-hour rant at Kathleen Wynne show today. And so I did the follow. I did a little bit of follow-up. I went back to Reddit afterwards, and here she did. She answered 2 more questions. So it's been a week, and she initially, and you know what, I don't know if I see, that's what I think. I had some things kind of posted up, and I wanted to show that, so I didn't print them, okay, because she initially I had thrown it up on Twitter, and what her responses was, I'm going to do this once, I'm going to do one every day until I answer all the questions. And again, she found out that it's just way too busy to do that. She did come back and talk about regards to getting rid of the OMB. A lot of people don't like that. I guess if you have the money, you're trying to you're trying to change things and build things and kind of bypass all kinds of municipal bylaws and things like that. We need to just get rid of the OMB. That's how my experience from what I've watched the battles, okay, and if they can't find a way around it, and they'll keep you in court till you run out of money, and then they'll get their way. So we just get rid of that thing. Then we just go back to the olden days where, I squat on the land, I can do what I want. And again, rules were put in place for a reason. Okay, maybe they got a little cumbersome. Let's work on getting rid of the cumbersome part of the red tape. But let's not get rid of structures that for some reason these structures were put in place. And I keep saying that about a lot of the clamoring about transparency, and let's get rid of rules and too many laws and bylaws and things like that. They were put in place for a reason, and because of usually misuse and abuse is why those things come to play. So she actually did try to do that. And I think that was driven from the city of Toronto. Again, that's a big place, and then people try to build things and finding these dumb little rules that they can't build what they want. So that's probably where that one came from. And of course, there was a question in regards to Heinz. That kind of broke into the news again as far in the sheet. And I could see that, I guess that's her answer. I guess he said we better answer this one. It really looks like a staffer response. I'm sorry. Okay, it's about 1, 2, 3 paragraphs long. And so that tells me more, just make sure we get all the information in there and what they committed to do it, because they're complaining we gave Cisco some money and we're going to do this and we're going to do that. And now we're getting to a whole new ball of wax where now that the closure agreement is kind of in place and we can make those workers go away, this might be a viable entity for somebody to reopen and rehire once we got rid of pensions and wages and benefits and things like that. And it won't be Warren Buffett, by no means. Okay, but it'll probably be some subsidiary of some other subsidiary of a 10-cent subsidiary of somebody that's going to reopen that plant, and you're just basically doing the same work for way less. It's just such a sad scenario, and I don't know when we're going to wake up to it. And not only to the one government, to the other government, and get another government in there. I don't care in case there's a third government, whoever it is, to say, you know what, we're starting to see through all this. If you just want us to start over, then wipe all the slates clean and get rid of everything, I guess, and then we'll kind of redo it completely. And that means lower taxes, and that means get rid of GSTs or HSTs, get rid of all those things. You want me to work for less, then you need way less tax money. Okay, that's how I see it at the end of the day. You don't have to pay all these corporations all this extra money because, you know what, they don't need it because everybody's working for peanuts anyways. So my taxes should be dropping like a rock. Funny thing is, I don't see that part. Funny thing is, I don't see the consumer products I buy dropping like a rock either. Not the tax part of it, just the consumer products. For as many people that are working for nothing now, you think things are way cheaper. It's so very, very surprising in this day and age that they think we're not that bright and we don't watch that. So, again, I wish I had that, and I had her contact information, so I may put that up next week if I do it. So, I guess so. So, of course, anytime you do anything social media and you're linking to anything Ontario and anything with a Toronto around it, so I guess I had a little slide in regard to my little slide. It was my little Rob Ford. I kind of had two slides. I called it my Rob Ford Fiver. And I kind of went through the Reddit. I didn't get them all. I tried to get what I can, and here was some different points. You know what? And Reddit gives points out. Reddit gives points. Okay, so this was 8 points for Steve from BC, and he says, "Hi, Premier Wynne. Have you ever partied with Mayor Ford?" Okay, that would seem to be a very, very important question for Steve from BC, and he didn't seem to get his answer. He didn't get an answer for that one. And known unrecorded stranger 647. He only got 1 point for this question. And do you smoke crack? I hear that's a requirement. I guess it's a requirement to be a politician in Ontario. So that was another Rob Ford reference. That was unbelievable. And B1, he only got 1 point for his. Is there anything that Government of Ontario can do to remove Rob Ford from his position? And that's what they kind of looked at. And it had, "It's no duck, it's a Canuck." He kind of responded immediately right back at Mr. B1. And he said very simply, don't vote him, okay? Don't vote him. And why and a bad word, okay? People use bad words when they're doing social media. Do you want an unelected premier? Ooh, that was kind of a shot back at Kathleen Wynne again, to remove an elected mayor from office. Wow, pretty good shots there. So it was my Rob Ford Fiver flavor, okay? And it was kind of always surprising that we had to have those types of questions always in their comments. Rob Ford all over the map. And of course, then I had my next little thing. I'll put another slide up there, Alex. Oh, that's right, I have those slides. Don't worry about that. Okay, and I went with some of the best questions, okay? And these ones should have been answered right off the bat. Okay, you know what? If you want to answer fast questions, fast, then this is one. We had Mr. McFlag, and he just wanted to know quite simply, Kathleen Wynne, do you have a good eggnog recipe? I think that's important to everybody in Ontario to know that. We are an eggnog type of community, and we need to know that. From throw me the us. He got 2 points for this one. Hello, Kathleen. If re-elected, would you bring in mandatory? Now, this is very important. This is for the youth vote we're talking about. Okay, would you bring in mandatory updates to Xbox One on a monthly basis? And what do you think about today's update being delayed? He wanted to know that. If you're a gamer, that's important stuff to you. And maybe we should get some laws into place to make sure that the gaming information is getting out to the gamers so they don't have to wait that extra day. And here it was, you know what, and no lollygagging around here, okay? Norvico got 4 points for this one. Wynne, can you stop dancing around the bush, answering silly questions? No one cares where you were drinking last night or about your running. I want you to answer tough, hard questions. If you want to answer the easy questions, go back to Twitter, okay? And that's what he said. Okay, and then I had glad you like it. I really kind of liked this one. And this one, he actually got this one in bold. You know what, it didn't really show a point, but it kind of got thrown right in the middle there. And it said this AMA, okay, this Ask Me Any was literally under 1 hour. Next time, just update your Wikipedia profile. It'd be quicker to do that, okay, than sit around for an hour scrolling through, watching questions not being answered, okay? And that was what's kind of was sent there. And there was a couple other ones. Well, this AMA was a big waste of time. That was from Matterhorn 1. London calls 1. And this is now important questions, okay? Important questions. What would you rather fight? 100 duck-sized horses or 1 horse-sized duck? And I think that's so very important. And that's another question we wanted answered right away. And of course, walk like a giant came back right after that. He got 11 points because Rob Ford or Tim Hudak reference will always pull off the points at the end of the day. Would you rather fight a 1-horse Tim Hudak, 1-horse-sized Tim Hudak, or 100 duck-sized Rob Fords? I say that would be scary. 100 duck-sized Rob Fords coming at you. I don't know. I think I'd rather just take on 1 huge horse-sized Ford. So anyways, that one made me laugh, and I kind of liked that one as far as how that one. That was kind of my pick 6 for the day. And of course, the number 1 question, I just gave it to you. So, and I was kind of doing what I would be, and I had, and again, it's my regular kind of bit that I kind of add to the show is about the dream job. Because we all want to have a dream job at the end of the day. So I'm going this week's dream job. I'm going to hand it right off to, of course, going with last week, dream job would be Premier of Ontario, Kathleen Wynne. If you get to play on Reddit, you don't have to answer any questions. You just give it to your staff. Okay, let's be serious about it. We're almost to the point. I don't know what if you now need to take the blinders off. You're right. 1 year has passed. Time to do it. Time to get serious and do the job. No more dancing. Okay, the dancing is done. And just, a little extra, little bit, because he gets popping up all over this Reddit, was, of course, another dream job. The ultimate dream job in Ontario would be Rob Ford, to be mayor of Toronto, when you don't have to be mayor. He just can go drinking. He can just be on Twitter. He can make comments. He doesn't have to really atone for anything he says or does, and still say I'm the mayor of Toronto. He doesn't even have to go in. So it's pretty crazy to be the mayor of Toronto and not have to function. Unbelievable. And then run. And he's going to run for re-election. It's just craziness. Dream job. Dream job in, I guess, Canada right now would be mayor of Toronto. So that brings us, honestly, to really what kind of transpired, because what happened was we had this Reddit thing going on, and that was kind of leading into, I see what you did, 1 year to 1 year in office, or 1 year as premier, and then Queen's Park opened up on Monday, and here was the banter, election, what's going to happen, who's going to do it, okay, is it, and I think, are they seriously, is it going to be between, is this Horvath of the NDP, okay, is she going to force the election? Does she not want to do that? Okay, because they're both kind of downplaying any of this. When are the hard questions? The hard questions are definitely not answered on Reddit. Are those hard questions going to be answered, okay, in Parliament, okay, at Queen's Park? Is it going to happen? Is it going to be Wynne? Is she waiting for Wynne to do it? Is she going to pull the plug on some plan? Is Wynne going to come up with the ultimate plum that Horvath can't support to put it on her plate? And then you're going to have Hudak running around in circles, right to work, create jobs. There's a million jobs, because a conservative normal agenda is just promise you everything and do nothing when they're there. Okay, so, and as scary as it is, okay, and this was the most recent poll, and I use 308.com, okay, as my forum. They were kind of watching, and everybody watched this. Okay, they certainly did watch it. Okay, Niagara Falls, NDP kind of took that one, but I'm very surprised at, and I know they kind of knocked off the Liberal, and they're looking at Wynne again and saying, you know what, you lost another by-election. And she goes, well, that's not a big deal. Well, you keep losing by-elections. Guess what? Eventually it's going to catch up with you. Okay, but the PCs were only about 3 points behind the NDP in the final tally. Okay, and that left the Liberals pretty far down there, and the PCs did continue or held on to Thornhill. Okay, so when they're solid, they're very solid with the seats they have. Okay, and I again hope those people wake up when the election comes up, and we have better alternative and better solutions, or maybe they'll have a better leader to present. Because right now I just don't like what's happening. 33 for the PCs, 33 for the Liberals, 29 for the NDP. That is our current poll, and a very scary poll, especially if. And I was going to say, is the only thing we're going to be turning back, or going to be, the only thing we're going to be springing ahead, it should be turn-back's fall, springing ahead, we're going to be the clocks, or is there going to be a springtime election? A lot of people are saying if they're waiting for the weather to break, and then that issue is going to pop up, and Horvath ain't going to be able to do it, and Wynne's not going to back down, and it's going to happen. So be ready for change coming in Ontario. Okay, and as I begin to finish up here, I think, you know what, I think we've done pretty good with our time today. Do remember, it's Bowl for Kids' Sake, okay, the Kids' Sake event. Some of the spots are starting to fill up. I think they said February 28th, and there's February 28th and March 1st, and that's at Rose Bowl Lanes. Okay, but February, I think that's a Friday. Right, okay, forget, short month. Friday is filled up. The 6 o'clock spot is filled up. Okay, I think there's still some opportunity to jump in on the Saturday. Register your team today at 519-945-6232, extension 13. $40 is your minimum pledge. Again, you're looking at a team event, so $10, 10 or depending, I think 4 or 5 people per team. Okay, and this includes, as far as your pledging goes, 2 games, shoes, 2 pieces of pizza, and a pop. So it looks like, sponsored by Tim Hortons, it looks like a Bowl for Kids' Sake event, okay, happening this weekend at the Rose Bowl is going to be the place to be. It's going to be the place to be. So, in saying that, this looks like it's going to be the show.
Tell them to watch after the Windsor Express show.
Oh, okay, yeah, the Windsor Express, okay. And again, we're live streaming. Okay, is it this Friday? This Friday's game?
Yeah, Friday and Saturday.
Friday and Saturday this week. Okay, so Friday and Saturday, March 28th, February 28th and March 1st. And with the new element that we put together is Brett Hedges, the play-by-play announcer, one of the play-by-play announcers, part of our XC's team, okay, doing play-by-play for the Windsor Express. And he's going to he does a recap after the game. And we did our first one last week, and it turned out great. And we're going to add to it. Like I said, every time we do something here live on XC's TV, sponsored by Knoxstrom Digital Media. Okay, and once we do it once way, then we make it better and make it better and make it better. And that's what you're going to see this weekend with Brett Hedges, okay, and with his recap following the Windsor Express games.
By Mike Thomas.
And I won't be there Friday, but produced by Mike Thomas, okay, and trying to give, we're doing good. We're doing good. And again, tune back in for Betty on the Go. Is this going to be on Thursday? She can do on a Thursday? Okay, and when's Ashley? When's Beyond Incredible? We're still scheduling Beyond Incredible, but Betty on the Go will be on Thursday, and the game on Friday, and the game Saturday night?
Saturday night.
Okay, Friday, Saturday night. Okay, so we got a couple good games, and you'll see part of the team, or most of the team of Knoxstrom Digital Media at XC's TV at the Windsor Express games. You need to come out too. Please come out to the games and support your Windsor Express, who is supporting this community with a fabulous season. Okay. I'm Mike Thomas. You've been watching Convergence Report, and I am going to be back next week. Okay, with my slides, anyways. And you know what? He's ready to cut me off at any time now. But that's exactly what I talked about. I did a presentation for the journalism students at the Mediaplex today, and first I talked about was live. And you know what I said? I said, and it's live. Okay, it is live, and if you make a mistake or you glitch or something goes wrong, you just gather yourself up and you just go for it. That is live TV, and this is what you get with XC's TV, best local programming in Windsor-Essex. See you next week.